Right to it.
I hate puppies.
You guys are having sex?
Good podcast.
Wait, what? That's all I can think of.
I feel threatened.
That meme with that kid. Wait, you guys are having sex?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House. Sorry for Troy's intro there. That was a little weird.
That was hilarious. I'm starting off funny.
I agree. Where are we? Yeah, that's right. This is the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and hopefully helping you figure out what beer you should be drinking this upcoming weekend, next weekend, you know, whatever it is you decide to drink. Hopefully not on a Sunday afternoon, because that's exactly what we have decided to do.
Yeah. Well, you didn't start in the afternoon.
I did.
Oh, you waited till noon?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was just afternoon. Like literally just afternoon, which by definition is anytime afternoon.
Anytime afternoon.
So 12:02 was fine. In fact, I held out a whole extra minute because, you know, willpower.
You've got it under control.
That's how I roll, dude. It's not a problem. It's not the solution. I'm certain of that. So thank you guys for tuning in. You may have heard a chuckle in the background that sounds a little different. We're hoping to hear more of as of late. This is Ray's here again. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I think I might make this a regular gig.
That's what we were hearing. We were discussing that a little before, that you might want to come around a little more. And Troy and I had a long discussion, and by long discussion, we said, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, thank God."
Our other third mics will be surprised to hear that if they still listen.
Well, they would have to show up,
Yeah, and or listen
to hear that information. Yeah. We have this. Basically, we'll have a rotating
Third.
mic, which should be just.
I'm used to being a third.
Which will be me, Ray.
Yeah, which I think will be Ray. And then
But
Ray.
we have a fourth today too.
Dude, is that the Duke?
That is the dude.
The Duke is in the house.
That's right. That's what I like to hear. And word on the street is we might pull a double, which means that second episode should be a little loose.
Yeah,
It's going to get spicy.
That tends to be how that goes, man. That first episode, you kind of hold it together. You follow the formula, which this week the formula is very loose at best.
That's how it goes when we start drinking the first episode. But you guys, dude, you were at breakfast too, right? Or brunch, whatever.
I was
What
at
do they call
brunch.
it?
Yes,
So
sir.
two of you have been drinking for a while now.
But we slowed down for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Like I had to go buy delis.
Like a hydration break.
Get
Yeah.
here. I forgot the hydrate part.
Oh,
But I did slow down for just a moment, and that worked in my favor, I think. Because this is my first beer since getting back into it. So see,
You sound okay. Your eyes are okay.
I feel okay, which is surprising because I haven't really been sleeping too much.
Uh-huh.
So I've been a little tired. It's been one of those weekends, man, where I can't seem to get my legs under me. Like
Well-
every night.
if I recall, the last episode I was here for, the Squeeze and Lemons episode,
Yes.
you were a little toasty when we got to the end.
Oh, dude. No,
I mean-
like say the least.
That was your fault, Ray.
I had a horrible day at work the next day.
What do you mean by horrible? Like, were you like hungover?
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean by horrible. Yeah. I mean, there's no fancy way to put it. Like, I woke up and I was like, oh, this is how you're not supposed to feel.
I feel like I drank all night last night.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Now, I managed to get through the day and it was okay, but it was rough.
Dark liquor will do it to you.
Well, I remember I had a few beforehand. So the Thursday night podcasts are getting more difficult now because
Because you have to go to work on Friday.
well, and I tend to be going out to dinner with my wife, which means I'm going to have two drinks. But so that already kind of lays a foundation.
You're primed.
Yeah, and you know, the foundation is what you build the house on. Well, my foundation is swampland. doesn't
With corpses in it.
yeah, it doesn't make for a good home. You know? Yeah, over an Indio burial yard, you know. Yeah, very, very poltergeisty.
Yeah,
if you
that
will.
checks out.
But yeah, so I was feeling no pain after the podcast, feeling lots of pain the next
You
morning.
made up for the pain.
I clearly did. I numbed it out.
Well, when I showed up, it was like, are you making cocktails today? I mean, that's what everybody thought that was going to happen, but we're just doing beers. So I think you're safe.
How does that work for you now? Because you and Taylor have been at this for a year and a half, 2
Yeah.
years now. So like, are you guys known now? And
Yeah,
like you can't go anywhere without your traveling bartender pack, right?
Right. Everybody says, what are you making tonight? What, you know, and we have to go.
That's a lot
I
of
don't know.
pressure, and/or work, and/or money.
Sure. And we do avoid right. We do avoid parties now at times,
yeah.
so we don't have to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Or we just don't bring it. We're just like, I don't have it. Sorry.
Well, yeah, you walked in here empty-handed.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen where like they show up and like for a party and like their friends are gonna be like, "Hey, you could just. I see you brought some stuff. Just sit up right here." And
Yeah.
oh, what? I got two
some-
shirts for you guys and some bow ties. Like, and then like Ray and Taylor would be halfway through the night being like,
Like,
I
what
don't
the
think
fuck,
we were
guys?
invited
Right?
to
Like-
this party. I think we're working this party.
Hopefully, before long, we're just going to put headphones on them, too.
Yeah.
Put them in the corner and be like, you guys are podcasting. Like, there's no mics. Just wear the headphones.
Just wear the headphones.
They just pull the cord up and it's not connected to anything. Like
That's the only way we recognize you. It's like Zac Brown in a hat.
yeah.
You know, he's got to have his dope hat, which is funny. You were talking about something a little bit before. This week you were at like you were at a
I
conference
was
or
at a
something.
work conference down in Virginia Beach for most of the week. Don't do those much, but it was interesting being around a lot of drinkers. Again, going out every night, glad handing, and it was like, because you guys do it. It's you have a role at work, and like there comes a time where you just have to go out. Like they're expecting you to go out, and you have to go out, and you have to meet people. So it's like you can't just hold up in your room the whole time. Plus, you really don't want to. Even though I'm not drinking, I still like to engage with people.
Sure.
But the one thing that the hardest part about not drinking, is being around really drunk people. Like I don't mind being around drinkers.
Happy hour's
It's
fine.
Yeah, it's the really late.
It's later at night.
Yeah, where it's like you're not making sense. I used to be cool with it because I would be not making sense at the time.
Because you'd be the one telling the story for the third time.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
that doesn't bother you. But yeah, I can't stand it when I start hearing the same story. That's the one that just irks the shit out of me. I'm like, bro, we covered
We
this.
talked about it.
We got to a conclusion. It turns out you were wrong.
Yeah.
I proved you were wrong. And now here we are again starting it over. It's like, come on.
Did you like have to? Did you like holding on to like club soda or something? Or
Yeah, I usually drink like Sprites with limes in them or something, just something that looks like it's
Right,
in a glass. But most of the people, they're like buying drinks and shots and stuff. It's like I'm good, and they're like, then you gotta explain the whole thing. It's like, can't we just move past all this and just?
That's got to be
And a lot of it was free too, which I was like, damn, that would be nice to be drinking right now.
Did you give
Like,
your drink tickets away?
we didn't have drink tickets, but like I was out on open bar tabs with people a lot, and it'd be like, I'll just have another water.
I love at the end of the
and
night.
I'm so cheap. I'm just like, man, that'd be great to have some free drinks.
They're like, all right, we'll split the tab 5 ways. You're like, you motherfucker.
And no, you will not.
Literally didn't take part in this. Here's $2 for my Coke.
Yeah. So I met a guy.
Oh,
And,
congratulations.
In my travels, yeah, he was really nice. And we were hanging out, and he's wide open. He's hilarious. And he's like, we're like hanging out, and he's like, hey, man, can I get a picture of you? Which kind of happens a lot. Like, I don't know, people post social media about meeting people that I thought was work related. And he was
Okay,
like,
so you figure he's like, okay, you're a big dog in
Yeah,
my
yeah,
world.
exactly. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
excited. I want to tell the guys that I
Exactly.
met.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
met Troy. Or he was a
Yeah.
fan of the podcast.
yeah, probably that second one, right?
Most definitely a fan of the
He
podcast.
heard your voice across the room. He's like,
Yeah.
is that the audio dreamboat?
That's right. So he was like, oh, can I get a picture? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man, you look just like Zac Brown. I'm going to tell all my friends that you look just like, I'm going to tell them I met Zac Brown because you look just like him. And I have never in my years heard that I look like Zac Brown.
I don't think you, I mean, you have a beard,
I have a beard.
that's Zac Brown has a beard.
Everyone has a beard in 2022 and 2023.
In this room, we've got
we all-
2.5 beards out of the 4 dudes.
Everyone has growth
Dude, we're
on there.
giving you a half beard for that little goatee thing.
There you go.
It's adorable.
He's got more growth than you do, though, or at least it looks like it because it's darker.
Oh, thank you. I get it. I get the joke.
I can see now, though, in the light, you haven't shaved in a while.
Unfortunately, yeah, I don't like not having the beard, but then at the same time, it's kind of nice not having a beard. It's weird. It's a catch-22 because I get so into my beard, I'm constantly grooming it,
Yeah,
trimming
yeah, yeah.
it, beard oils. Like it's almost more expensive for me to have a beard than it is just to invest in razors.
Yeah, it's not as easy having a beard as everybody thinks it is. Like, you just throw everything out and you walk away. Like, no, you don't get to do that. Like,
No.
it takes some maintenance.
You got to trim it.
Yeah.
You got to take care of it.
And
Yep.
the trimmings, that's the real deal. Like, you want to get it right. Because
Yeah.
a shaped beard looks a lot better than an unkempt beard. So now it's like I got to fix my hair and my beard every day.
It is funny how, like, every whisker on my face, none of them grow at the exact same length at the same time. You know what I'm saying? There's always,
Absolutely.
like, and then you'll have, like, curly ones and straight ones, and it has to be maintained. I'm always pulling out the trimmer and just kind of knocking down strays.
The funny thing is that your hair really does kind of
yeah,
work a lot more uniformly and all kind of go in the same direction, at least for a while. My beard is all over the damn place.
yeah, same with mine.
And mine's like 6 different colors.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
got
other
that
thing,
going,
too.
too.
It's like,
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. It's like, it's ridiculous.
Well, it's better than Brendan's. It's mostly gray.
Oh, mine's coming that way though. Like if you look up, like that gray's really coming in, and growing out my hair longer has really allowed me to see how gray I'm really going,
Yeah,
which
I'm
is super cool.
I'm starting to see mine come up my sideburns now.
I
But,
mean, it won't be long before I'm kind of like just fermenting this whole head.
yeah.
Giving out.
So I was like, okay, yeah, do whatever. Take my picture. Tell your friends you met Zac Brown. Like, no one's gonna buy it, right? So the next morning, I'm at a meeting, and he's there, and another mutual friend of ours is there, and I guess they were friends on Facebook. I wasn't friends with the guy yet, and our mutual friend comes up and is like, Troy, man, you guys broke the damn internet last night. I'm like, what are you talking? I'm literally, because I hadn't even thought about the picture. I'm like, what do you mean we broke the internet? Like,
Yeah, I was sober last night.
yeah, like
You
I didn't
broke
do
the
anything.
internet,
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, man, that picture he posted, it's got like over 100 likes and all these comments. Everybody thinks he met Zac Brown, and everybody's giving him all this shit.
So he didn't say I met a guy who looks like Zac Brown then.
No. So I was like, the mutual friend took a screenshot, and I said, holy shit, this dude made up this entire story that he was out drinking and that I, quote unquote,
Zac
came
Brown.
up to him. Yeah, Zac Brown came up to him and was like, you don't know who I am, man? I'm Zac Brown. And all
So he kind of made Zac Brown almost look like an egomaniac. Like,
Yeah.
how come you're not impressed
Yeah.
by me?
And the dude's 300 and some pounds and, 5'10", 11. He's a big old dude. And I'm like taller than him. And like, everyone's like,
Zac Brown's not a tall guy.
no, he's
No.
not a tall guy at all. And I'm like, so there's all these comments like, I can't believe you met Zac Brown. Tell him I saw him at this concert. He's one of my favorites. And I'm like, is he really your favorite if you can't
should-
pick him out of a crowd?
You should tell Zac Brown that I saw him at Friday Cheers before he was big too, because I feel like I have a little stake to claim there, so that's good.
So yeah, I'd never been told I look like Zac Brown, because I don't. And 2, I can't believe. I mean, everyone looking at this picture is on their phone, so they have Google, so they could easily be like, Google Zac Brown. Go of the 20 or so, 25 comments. There was like one guy that's like, I'm pretty sure that's not Zac Brown. Don't let him roofie you. Because they thought, they believed the whole story that I had approached him and been like, I can't believe you don't know who I am, dude.
Because that is an awkward story.
Yeah.
If a celebrity walks up to you and is like, you don't know who I am? Buy me a drink, asshole.
he said that we were drinking together at the bar, and then I, Zac Brown, said, you don't know who I am? Like, that is kind of egomaniacal. Like, no, Zac Brown wouldn't do that. Like,
When you were hanging out with him at first, was he treating you a little bit like a celebrity?
no, he knew immediately who I was.
Zac Brown. Nice.
So he
like
knew
Troy
who you
needs a
were,
hat.
but he thought,
Yeah.
let me just see. I mean, like, you look like Zac Brown, but you don't.
No,
I mean,
he knew.
Ladies and gentlemen of the podcast,
I was.
Troy does not
Yeah.
look like Zac Brown.
He has a beard.
He
That's it.
when I met the guy, I was introduced to him by my boss by my name and my title, so he knew who I was. Like, there was no confusion. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy's hanging out with Zac Brown. Like, he didn't think that for a second. Like,
So it even took a while. Like, he had to officially get his beer goggles on before he even decided you looked like Zac Brown.
no, this was early. This was the sun was still up. We just met up at a bar after all the
Well,
conferences.
that doesn't narrow shit.
No.
The sun is out right now, and I'm.
Yeah, but this was during the week. We've been in the conference and in classes all week.
The
So, like, we
funniest
just
thing
got
is,
out.
I've never seen Zac Brown without a hat on, and
No.
Troy didn't have a hat.
Did you?
I did in the picture. I just had a ball cap,
Yeah.
not a dope like
Because Zac Brown's hat game
Yeah.
is
Is.
next
it.
level. Yeah.
Like, he's got some hats that I'm just. I'm like, how did you even find that hat? And I
mean,
guess I just don't have a good hat connection.
How do you pull it off? That's the question. He looks good in them.
He can wear a hat on the very top of his head, so it's like it's just resting up there like a yarmulke with a brim.
Right.
And I'm like, that actually looks super cool on you. But if I wore that, I'd look like a total
He
asshole.
also got famous pulling off the beanie pulled down really far.
That's right.
Over his eyes.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
And he looks good doing that.
Yeah, like the guy can't wear a hat poorly. It's little stupid hats on top of his head, little Monopoly hats.
Yeah.
You put that little one on his head, you'd be like, that actually looks kind of cool on you. Big hats down to his eyes. You're like, yeah, man, that looks right. I don't understand how he pulls that off. You were in a ball cap.
Yeah, I was just in a flat brim ball cap. Like, didn't look like him at all.
I don't do hats. I think they look ridiculous on me all the time.
All
It doesn't
hats?
matter.
You don't
Yeah.
even wear baseball hats?
Never.
So you're one of those.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
so
I mean,
there's-
you guys can see I've got this crazy full head of hair.
You do. You
well,
have great hair.
Your hair's good. I would let that fly. But
Right. But yeah, no ball, no nothing.
see, that's unfortunate, man. I think when people can't wear a hat, that breaks my heart. Like I got this one buddy, and I don't care how small the hat is, it makes him look like he's 7. You know what I mean? Like, be the smallest hat in the world. Be like, man, you're swimming in that thing. Like, I feel bad for guys like that. He also looks weird in flip flops. Like this guy's lost. Like for whatever reason, you put his feet in flip flops, and it's like, your feet look a little weird.
Interesting.
No matter what hat you put on, I'm like, damn. So he's lost like 75% of guys' outfits.
I had a buddy that had that mentality, and he wasn't really wrong with sunglasses. He was like, I can't find a pair of sunglasses that look good on me. And like we'd be out on a sunny day, and he'd just be squinting his ass off. I'm like, I don't walk out of my house without sunglasses, like even if it's cloudy.
That's how I felt this morning. I walked out. It was dreary, and I had sunglasses on. My wife was like, "What are you doing?" I was just like, "It is way too bright. It's dark outside."
When I was in high school, I played baseball in high school and college, but the coach wouldn't allow us to wear our hats inside. So whenever we would come in from playing, we had to take our hats off, and it didn't matter when or what we looked like. And
Even if you were going from the field into the locker room,
yeah,
it was like
hats off,
Yeah.
hats off. And so I incorporated that in college, so it just became this habit. So one of the reasons why I don't wear hats is I just don't wear them inside.
Yeah.
Just out of respect, I guess.
Well, I think that's traditional, right?
That is
You
traditional,
don't wear
yeah.
a hat inside a building.
Yeah.
And
Unless you're a lady at a church or something
Yeah.
like that.
But now you can. I think that's all. I mean, I think those.
Yeah, all the rules are
It's dying out.
Yeah.
So I still, to this day, though, I won't wear a hat at a table like for a meal, like even in a restaurant, even if I'm at a bar. Like I'll take it off.
Even if you're like at the local Mexican joint where like it's not fancy.
I will absolutely take my hat off.
Interesting.
It's been beaten into my head, and there's only one other person I know that does that.
Right.
No, the first time I was out somewhere with the Abacus, and then he and I both took our hats off. We both had this horrible hair. We were like, it's better than being the disrespectful guy with a hat on in a restaurant. And that's like, but you, Ray, to this day, if you do wear a hat, you will still take it off just
No
inside.
matter what. No, yeah. When I go inside, when I'm doing anything, I'll take it off.
If I wear a hat, it's part of an outfit, and once you put a hat on, and I don't have good hair, but I have hair, and once you wear a hat, like to me, it's like
you all fucked up.
You can't take your hat off.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna look like an idiot.
I get it, but it's like it's somewhere in my life somebody drilled it into my head that
Everyone our
it's
parents' age and older, that was their
that was
thing.
a tradition.
Yeah, and they wore like fancy hats all day, every day, but they would do the on and off thing all the time.
Troy, you probably go to a lot of sporting events and a lot of concerts or whatever, and the national anthem. I get so irritated when I see people that still keep their hats on during the national anthem. Whether it's
bugs me.
yeah, right. And I'm sure you see that more.
Oh
than
yeah,
we
all
do.
the time. And I have taught my boys to take their hats off during the anthem. I mean, that's the least you can do.
Right.
Yeah, that'll frustrate me to no end. But you don't have to put it over your heart. Like I see people
just
do
take
that.
it
Just
off.
just take it. I'm only asking for the bare minimum out of respect for your country. Just take your damn hat off. Just
Well,
for 2 minutes.
Just 2 minutes.
So you
2
never
minutes.
wear hats.
Never wear hats.
So if I go to your house, if I go to Ray's house, you don't have a collection of ball caps.
I have two. I have an East Carolina, hat that I might put on maybe like if I'm out
you
or whatever.
go to the
right.
football game or something?
Right. And then I have a Nike golf hat that if I'm playing golf, I might wear it, but generally no. So
Hats make sense when you're playing golf, though. 'Cause
It does.
You're
It does.
sitting out there in the sun for
But I play golf like
5 hours.
3 times in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay, so no sweat stains on that.
no.
You're slacking on your golf.
I mean, I probably have 100 hats. Like, not even joking.
100.
Yeah, 100. And
He does- he has
I've
like
gotten
a-
rid of a bunch of them.
He literally has a room, and there's just
Yeah,
hats.
And I have hats I don't even wear anymore, and I still like. I love that hat, and I'm like, you never wear it, you idiot. Like, you
I'm
Let
know,
me
the
tell
same
you,
way.
I think a girl is sexy in a hat. I do like a girl in a baseball hat with the ponytail out
Yeah.
the back.
Baseball hat, cowboy hat,
Cowboy hat.
you name it. And then I know girls get made fun of because like the bigger the hat, the bigger douchebag she probably is. The bigger the hat, the more I'm like, that's so hot.
Yeah.
so you would go to the Kentucky Derby and just have
No, I want my brim big. I don't need like feathers. I don't need it to be a peacock on
Ornate.
my head. Yeah, ornate doesn't do it for me. That actually, well, kind of does do it. Like walking through it now.
Yeah.
I just like hats in general. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to Texas next week with my wife, and she's like,
Uh-oh.
"I'm bringing my Stetson." I'm like, "Oh, thank God," because to
Nice.
me, that's hotter than lingerie. The hat.
Yeah,
That and some cowboy boots.
I'll still go with
Oh,
lingerie.
a little sundress.
So I gotta ask you. How do you feel about white cowboy boots on a girl?
Love them.
Love it. See.
Love it.
Interesting.
All right. So
Yeah, so my girlfriend's got a pair of white cowboy boots. She rocks the shit out of those things.
Don't they get like destroyed?
What? So what? Just clean
Okay.
them up. This is what soap and water are for, dude.
Yeah, it's supposed to get destroyed.
Right.
That's why we're wearing them.
And leave them on for those 3 to 6 minutes.
That's a whole other topic we can go down. But no, so like when the Duke and our wives went to Nashville, all the girls were walking around in the white cowboy boots, and the Duke's wife and my wife were not fans of the white cowboy boot.
Really?
I'm team your wives, because if you're there and you see everyone doing it, I'm fucking disgusted by it, because then it's a trendy fucking thing, and I don't like that shit.
It is a trendy thing, but it's
you don't want to
also-
be the same fucking jerk offs that are wearing the same exact thing that everyone else.
I think in
And especially
Nashville-
women don't like to do that.
Well, it
Nash-
also depends on the woman too wearing them.
Not so much.
No,
400
it don't.
pounds in white cowboy boots.
No, that's very true. That's very true.
No, I think a white cowboy boot would take 200 pounds off a 400-pound woman.
Easy.
I don't believe
You like, look at those fucking legs.
Yeah, if you can squeeze those feet into those
Yeah.
cowboy boots.
Hell yeah.
That's all that's
the
needed.
gout looks good on that one.
Look at the cankles on that girl.
Barely see your bunions through there.
Oh, you're gonna leave them on? That's because you can't get them off, right?
That's exactly right. No, the white cowboy boot is the equivalent in Nashville of the tramp stamp everywhere else.
Yeah.
It's like you see it and like there's the bullseye.
Well, I've never been to Nashville, but it's known as the like bachelorette party of the world. Like,
It's
so
the
you know
bachelorette
it's
capital
gonna
of
be
the
like.
world.
I think they just changed the rules and you can't drink on the street anymore, right? You can't drink on Broadway anymore.
Don't
No
give me
way.
that.
I don't think
think
they. I don't
I-
think they do that. That sounds very counterproductive to their game.
But I mean, I don't think I've ever had a beer on the street on Broadway. Now that I think about it, like
But you're right. There are tons. When Jill and I were there a couple months ago, or about a year and a half ago, I guess, we saw tons of bachelorette parties. Very few bachelor parties, but lots of bachelorette parties.
when we were down there were these guys and they were on a bachelor party. Fucking geniuses. These 4 or 5 dudes were wearing the short cut off jean shorts and white cowboy boots.
Oh my god!
And just walking around with all the bachelorette parties.
man.
And you were
know,
so steamed up.
so steamed.
if it'll take 200 pounds off a 400-pound lady, I mean, it's gotta be
Damn
able
near
to turn a smooth, good-looking dude into
Especially with some
something.
Daisy Dukes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it take 200
from the
pounds.
waist down, that one's pretty banging.
Yeah, 200 pounds off a fat girl and titties on a dude. That's what white cowboy boots do for me. But no, those guys were brilliant because they were wearing their short shorts and their white cowboy boots. And so every time
Every
they would
girl
roll
would come up to 'em,
every
yeah.
bachelorette party,
Yeah.
be like, "Oh my gosh, that's hilarious!" Yeah, I know. And then boom,
Yeah.
you're in. Well played, gentlemen.
I got a story like that.
Are you gonna tell it?
I can tell it.
Because the way you see the way he kind of
Yeah,
leads.
he
I
did
just want to make
kinda-
sure. Like, a couple years ago, right after I got divorced, I went and did a Eat, Pray, Love trip for myself. So I did 3 trips, planned them all summer long to get my shit together, figure out what was going on.
By yourself?
By myself. Went to Miami, spent 4 days in Miami by myself.
Oh, wow.
And played the sob story, divorce, just trying to get, and I was invited to 3 bachelorette parties just as a tag along.
Wow.
Nicely played.
How'd that work out?
That is well played.
Very well. It was a lot of fun.
Take note, listeners. If you ever end up by yourself.
If you ever end up by yourself and going places, it was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. I was like, I've got to figure out. And you'd sit at a bar and you'd hang out and you see these parties coming on, like, hey, and they're like, why are you here by yourself? I was like, oh, I'm doing this Eat, Pray, Love. You ever read the book? And they're like, oh, yes.
Did you read the book?
No.
Even better.
So I just played it up, and they were like, "You should come with us." And I'm like, "Really?"
I don't want to be a.
So what is the premise behind the Eat, Pray, Love?
It's just right. So it's, the girl, whatever her name is, goes and she does 3 different countries. She goes somewhere to eat. It was Italy.
Okay, so literally one's about eat, one's about finding
pray.
religion.
Yeah, so she learns how to find religion or
So
whatever.
you can't
love
do
and,
all 3 of those in one place?
Yeah, well, I did.
Oh, okay.
I prayed a lot.
I didn't know there were certain cities for.
I hope she didn't have something. Please, God.
Oh, you're just saying you were on your knees a lot. I get you.
Awkward.
So it was just did 3 different trips, and that one was the best one because it was by yourself and it was a lot of fun, and I met a lot of great people. Mostly
Okay, so hold on. It was you did Miami, and that was your.
That was my like.
Can these fall into Eat, Pray, and Love, or is it just...
Yeah. So that was more like fun, and like that's more like eat because I went there just to kind of enjoy Miami itself. Come on, dude. There was some eating going on.
There was eating going on.
Yeah. You went to sample the cuisine. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then I did. I actually did Turks and Caicos with my kids, so I kind of found my love, there. Just kind of got it back before they went off. So I did 2 trips for myself, and then
What was your third one?
I actually did a local trip, but I did I like Virginia Beach, kind of like
Nice.
just getting myself out of just trying to do like a couple days out, and so Virginia Beach, Miami, and then I did Turks and Caicos, all by the water.
Okay, I'm going to count 2 of those. I still feel like you need to do the 3rd trip because Virginia Beach.
I mean,
you can't say Miami, Turks and Caicos,
Virginia Beach.
Oh, and then I went to Hampton.
Hey, Virginia Beach is a big destination for a lot of people. It's just weird that we live next to it,
And
there's some really nice parts of Virginia Beach. You just can't go to like 20th Street. Like that's not where you want to be.
right.
And that's and I've done that with the kids, which is actually kind of fun in its own way because you do want to show them.
And when I say Virginia Beach, I was in Sandbridge, so it's a little less crowded. It's it was more like a tour. So
Sandbridge, look at you,
Fancy.
Yeah.
so fancy. Still not going to count it.
I don't know. It sounds like after the Miami trip,
after my
everything
girlfriend
was
hears
house
this,
money.
she is not letting me go anywhere by myself again. So,
No, because you'll be over there and just sob story it.
Yeah.
right.
Oh no! Someone peed in my pants!
And then they feel sorry for you, and you,
Sure, I'll go.
oldest trick in the book. No,
So
it's kinda
back
sweet.
to that. I respect those guys. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, that was they gave
They
the
got the
system.
invites.
Oh, dude, you could tell it was working like a charm because they were walking down the street and you would see the buses roll by with all the girls doing their woo woo, and then they would holler at the guys, and they didn't have to do anything. I was like,
Somebody got lucky that week for sure. In that,
it's the move. But that brings us back to the white cowboy boots. I think it's a sexy look. Like I dig.
I don't know if I've ever seen it in the wild.
Oh, go to Nashville.
Yeah.
Every 6th, 7th girl, I would say, is probably in.
Great American Ranch right up the road.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a classy place.
Oh man,
I'm not familiar.
it's white cowboy boots. They have a bull. You can ride a mechanical bull at night.
It's a redneck bar in the middle of Hull Street.
And a strip mall.
It makes
And a
no
strip mall,
sense.
right.
Yeah.
This is I've been there. It was called something else, maybe.
It's been Great American Ranch.
Been Great American Ranch for a while.
It's tucked back off of the street.
Yeah.
there.
It
is,
Like,
it
yeah.
is, yeah.
Okay, I went in there and it looked like a Poison concert had just gotten out. When
Yeah,
I went.
so you've been there.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
what it looked like to me. It was like Big Bangs were still around. I was like, okay, this is all right. Which still
the other place you could find it in the wild, Hardywood, every once in a while does line dancing. Every third Thursday they do line dancing at Hardywood.
Okay.
So you could see it in the wild.
Cowboy boots in general seem to be very popular on college campuses now too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sundresses and cowboy boots are the thing.
I'm not mad at that
No, it's a great
at
look.
all.
I mean, I feel like cowboy boots are fine. I don't see why white cowboy boots have to be like are special. I feel like nice cowboy boots are nice.
Yeah.
We've got an audience too. So
Down the fourth wall. That was very, very interesting little moment in time there. So my wife and the Duke's wife, they've been drinking at brunch and they just sat down out back in the pallet house and they were just hanging out. So the Duke just makes that comment and you hear the two of them be like, "What? What do you know about college
How do you know
campuses?"
about that?
I'm very observant.
Just doing my research.
Yeah, I was just making it up, baby. Just making up jokes for the podcast, you know.
Yeah. We're just shooting from the hip here.
Never actually been to college. If he had been to college, he'd know you fucking refrigerate your mayonnaise. Real basic stuff, man. Refrigerate the mayonnaise.
Hey, the science.
I
says
mean,
you
the
do
science
not.
says that you don't have to. I respect that.
Table mayonnaise is just much better.
Table mayonnaise. There's a term for it. Table mayonnaise.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Any restaurant you ever been to, it sits on that table. And
That's right. Just like ketchup
I
and
guess it's
everything
true.
else.
It's rail mayonnaise. You want that sub with Dukes or rail? Just rail mayonnaise. For
I mean,
me,
everything's so processed. Like it'll stand the
I
test
mean, what's the
of time.
difference between a packet and a bottle? I mean, they're both closed.
The air.
Oh yeah, those packets are sealed tight.
Come on.
I've proven the science
That's right.
on mayonnaise.
You don't
That's
have to
true.
argue this point.
No, we
dude.
can't argue. He is
He's right.
correct. He proved it. He ate that shit for a month and he didn't crap.
And we
himself.
charted.
You motherfuckers don't.
Oh,
clap back
charted. I thought he said charted.
You charted
I
the
did that a
charts.
few nights too.
You motherfuckers don't clap back at Bill Nye. Leave the Duke his fucking. That's his wheelhouse.
My favorite thing about that whole Duke experiment was when we really did chart every time that you ended up having a sour stomach and ended up crapping yourself. And we pieced together that had nothing to do with mayonnaise. It was only the nights he hung out with me. The next day he couldn't.
Yes, it's all drinking related.
Anytime after midnight, I was at Brendan, loose stool the next day.
Yeah. And that was it. We were like, that's weird. So that trend came up. Which
Boy,
I've noticed in
and
my life.
Sometimes that happens if you hang out with Brendan after midnight, not drinking.
Yeah.
It's just being around Brendan,
Yeah.
I think.
There might be something to that. Unfortunately. I've noticed that myself.
Yeah, you're always with yourself. Lucky you.
Yeah, and I have a lot of loose stools. Neither here nor there. It's awkward. It's awkward at best. You know what I might do? I might throw an early deli in this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we've got
Switch it up?
We've got a handful of topics.
Yeah.
We got to do 2 episodes.
Yeah.
We're 7 minutes shy of proper deli time, and I got a deli in there.
Well, we're not going to do 2 hour-and-a-half topic. 2 hour-and-a-half shows.
I haven't decided what we're gonna do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The first one's gonna go short. The second one could go till tomorrow.
That's always in play.
But I've got one that I think is gonna kick things up a lot.
A deli?
Oh wow. Okay.
Is it down here?
Yeah, it's the one with the pink elephants on it.
This sounds like high APV.
It's yes. This. Are you familiar with
Yeah,
this?
I know
Ray?
Delirium beer. It's yeah.
I know. Well, it's like
but it's-
11.5%, right?
No, it's 8.5, I believe.
Right. So, but I think it's Belgium, right? Yeah.
Belgium ale.
So if you aren't familiar with the DTs, which is what us in the know call delirium tremens, this is actually what happens when you're a hardcore alcoholic and you try to come off of booze. You will oftentimes hallucinate, and you'll hallucinate.
I'll drink it. I'll drink a whole one.
That's right.
Yeah.
You'll hallucinate violently.
Take a sip of one of y'all.
So the old DTs is like, you're a flaming alcoholic when you get this. Well, they decided to actually name this beer Delirium after the Delirium Tremens. And there it actually has Tremens right on it. So They're literally going after the physical condition that one gets when they try to remove themselves from a lifetime of drinking booze.
So that's where the name came from?
Yeah. And that's why there's a pink elephant, because like in Dumbo.
Yeah, when he
got
you started
drunk.
hallucinating. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the hallucination state of alcoholism. And they literally just said, oh, we'll call it delirium tremens. Now I have...
Dude, that's bad if you are that alcoholic that you come off of it and you literally start seeing pink elephants.
So I've got a very sordid past with this beer. I don't like this beer. But then again,
They make more than one, right?
Yeah, they have a blue elephant too.
They have bars. I've been to their bar before.
So this is probably one of the most famous Belgian style ales, and that's why it's probably was the first one I had. And I remember thinking, I hate this beer. Like I don't like this beer. But I also hadn't really had a lot of beers. There's a Belgian one called Le Chauffe. Has a little like gnome.
Yeah, the gnome guy.
That's my favorite of the true Belgians. But I wanted to take a step back and try delirium tremens now that I'm a little more evolved.
Got a little different palate.
In my palate. Now, I also dislike these twats, and I will say it like that because I'm angry with them. They had a tap takeover at a local bar, and they flew in this guy from Belgium who's like a big dog at delirium tremens. And they had these dope delirium tremens hats that like a couple people were wearing. And I go over there and I'm like, hey man, I was like, how do I get one of those hats? And he was like, oh man, sorry, completely out of the hats. You know, like if you'd gotten here earlier, I could have hooked you up. But unfortunately, I gave the last one out a little bit ago. And I was like, oh, well, that sucks. I really liked that hat. So fast forward about 30 minutes, and my wife drunkenly walks over there and goes, hey, I really like those hats. Can I get a hat? And he goes, absolutely, and reaches under the table and pulls out a hat and puts it on her head and starts chatting her up.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Smart play by
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. It was like that guy's he's genius.
No.
Why are we giving it to you?
No. Because
I
now,
don't see where he's gone wrong here.
how about fuck him?
So
You know?
just that act of not giving you something, you don't like this beer.
No, lying to me.
Oh, lying to you. Okay.
No, not giving it to me and saying, hey, I want to hold it. I'm going to hold on to it in case a hot girl comes up. I'd be like, I respect your game. When he tells me, no, there are physically none left, and then he pulls out from a stack underneath the bar, so he's only putting it on dimes' heads.
Well, how do you know nobody returned it?
I know for a fact nobody returned it. Fuck this guy.
He's a piece of shit.
So
I can't understand his like, just say no, like, because
I've only got a couple left.
yeah,
and there's like
but,
some people I
if
want
he
to give
were
them to.
if he were to say like I'm just waiting for hot chicks, like that could go like you would be cool with it, but that could go wrong with other people too. Like I don't give a fuck about those hot chicks. Give me a fucking hat. I like this. You know, like
Or like I'm down to my last couple, and I need to see if so and so shows up. I don't know. Give me Don't lie to
Anything
me.
other than a
Just
lie.
a lie.
Right.
I just didn't
Yeah.
like the fact that he lied to me.
Yeah.
He said there are no more. I cannot help you. And he like gave me a sticker or something. It was like, beat it. Like, you son of a bitch.
And you took that sticker, threw it in the urinal, and pissed on it.
That's right. That's right. I stuck it right on the back. It was like, here's where you piss. But so not only did I not like the beer the first time I had it, but then like their big head dude, and he was like the head brewer or something. It was a big deal to have him there. So I'm like, all right,
where are they out of?
Belgium.
They are.
Yeah.
I swear I've been to a bar named Delirium with that same logo and the elephant and everything.
Well, I think that if that's not copyrighted, there might be some like it just exists out in space. So I wanted to try it though and give it a fair shake because through the lens of a deli, you have to peel back any of your animosity you have towards the douchebag.
Yeah.
You have to peel back any of you're really going to just drink it through the lens of like, is it good? Is it bad? So I wanted
So now you're trying to give it a fair shake.
I want to give it a fair shot. And I think that this will be the catalyst to a really weird second episode.
Okay.
Because
because it's heavy, because it's high.
This beer basically is like absinthe. It'll mess you up.
Well, it's got the pink elephant on it.
Yeah. But every time I've ever had one of these, my night's gone sideways.
Nice.
Yeah, this is like the equivalent of Malort or Jaeger. Like I don't do well after.
So you gave it us 10 minutes into this podcast.
Well, now we're at deli time.
It doesn't mix well with others, is what you're saying?
It does not play well with others.
Yeah.
Nice.
And what's this shit?
you
Elected
that-
as the best beer in the world. See, that's the same kind of egotistical nonsense.
Lying. Just
Where they're not
outright
going to give
lying.
you a
Just outright
hat.
lying.
They're not going to give you a hat just because of that.
It says elected as the best beer in the world. Now, it doesn't have an asterisk. It doesn't have anything there. So this-
Elected. That's a weird
right?
verbiage to use there.
Hey, Mom, what do you think's the best beer in the world? Delirium, honey. Your beer's
beer.
the best. Elected number one. Screw these guys. Yeah, on so many levels. There's so much ego here. But let's see if it's.
I thought you were an ego type of guy, but
I am an ego type of guy, not this guy's ego.
only your ego.
Thank you, Trish. You get it.
You have the best ego.
I think you're still pissed. I think you're going to be like sliding one way on the scale.
I'm going to be critical.
Oh, he's Irish. He holds a grudge.
I do.
You're not. I don't think you're going to give this beer a fair shot.
Have you seen that movie yet?
Giving it a fair shot. Which one?
The Irish movie about the Grudge that just came out.
Oh, the with Colin Farrell
Yeah.
and
I started it.
something
but
Banshee or something.
Banshees of Inisherin. And
Yeah.
Inisherin.
I've seen it. It's pretty good.
I want to see it, but I keep hearing review. I don't know where it's on. I haven't gone. Where is? Can
It's
you stream
on-
it somewhere? Is it
yeah,
free?
it's on one of the-
I
yeah,
think
it's on one of the streamers.
For free?
Yes.
For free.
I don't have HBO, so it's probably
it
on
won't
that
be
one.
for free for you then.
But I keep hearing like it's the greatest movie ever, or it is the worst movie ever because there's no resolution or whatever. Like I've literally heard both sides of the extremes, and I still want to see it.
Well, I wanted to watch it, but we do tandem TV watching at our house. My girlfriend, we like hanging out with
Hold on,
each
you
other.
have two TVs going at the
No.
same time?
We have to watch TV together.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't get to watch this movie because my wife saw the first. We watched like 10 minutes and she was like, "I'm not into this," and I was like, "Damn it!"
I went with you on that. I thought.
Well,
I thought they were watching
two TVs.
like House
Tandem,
Hunters on
No,
one
so
and
we
a
gotta
game.
so anyway, we got to be together. But she is just she's hearing impaired, so she has to wear hearing aids and accents. She can't understand. Even with the captions on, it's hard to follow. So I haven't been able to get that on my own.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It's interesting. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it's amazing, but Brendan Gleeson is really good. He's the
Yeah.
other guy in it.
Beautifully shot.
Oh, I mean,
I'm
yeah,
sure
the
of
scenery is beautiful, but I mean, it's a little dark.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah, I mean, Gleason chops his fingers off so you don't have to hang out with the dude. I mean, I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, the one thing I had her was
Remember when we did that when
Sorry,
Stu
this
was
is
coming over?
Gleason's like, I don't want to hang out with you. Colin Farrell's like, why? There's no like catalyst to start this. He's like, I just don't like you. I don't want to hang out with you. And then finally, Colin Farrell keeps wanting to hang out with the dude, and he's finally like, I'm gonna start cutting my fingers off if you keep keep bothering me.
Oh, he didn't like cut his finger off and go, "No, I'd love to hang out, but I'm at the hospital."
No,
he's like to
to prove a point. Like, I really don't want to be around you to a point. Well, I will cut my own finger off. So every time
What?
you come around, and the weird thing is, the guy's a violinist, so he needs his finger. So I kind of want to see the movie just on that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Interesting topic.
It's pretty decent, but
We're gonna
it's
have
a
to
little
do that.
weird.
But it's such a weird, such an interesting, like, hypothetical. Like, what if one of us did that to another? Like, I really don't like you, and if you're Colin Farrell, you're thinking, well, what did I do? You kind of want to know, like, how can I better myself? How can I right this wrong? And you're not getting anything. Then, like, well, now every time I want to go around you, I'm going to cut my damn finger off? Like, he's going to cut his finger off? That's a lot of guilt on you, you know?
Yeah, no, you see, I'm such an egomaniac that I think I would stick around to see how long you'll keep this gag
Oh, you
up.
would definitely do that. Yeah,
like
you
how
would
long are you
definitely
going
do
to
that.
keep this gag up? Because I know
I don't
you
think
really
it's a
wanna
gag.
No, I'm saying I think it's a gag. You obviously want to hang with me, but you're really going to the
Yeah.
extremes. And now I'm like, our friendship is so strong that you'll do such a good
you
joke.
would. That's exactly what you would think.
That's where my head.
You
would
have
be.
no fingers now. That's how much you love me. You really think that highly of
Did
me.
these women just bring us a cheese board?
That's what it looks like. Don't call it that in front of them.
Charcuterie
yes,
board?
thank you.
Grown up Lunchable?
Yeah. Fancy.
Grown-up lunchable.
That is a fancy ass board. That is like, okay, hey, all right.
Snacks.
Yeah, nothing sounds better in a microphone than chewing.
Not oranges and fruit punch.
That would be nice. That would be nice. All right.
Yeah, so I want to see that movie anyway.
Yes. My wife's probably super excited to see the Delirium treatments on the bar. She's like, I have that hat. The head brewer is so nice.
He's such a nice, sweet guy.
He's so sweet.
Yeah.
Guy is such a cock. But let's see how his beer is through this unadulterated lens that I'm going to use.
I think you should start since you are biased.
Okay, I'll tell you, it notes of arrogance and douchebaggery.
Oh, you picked up on that too.
That's the first thing I pick up on when I drink this. So I'm definitely going to have to take a point off for the douchebaggery. Oh, is that a hint of lies? That's right, he's lying.
I remember liking this beer. Now, I have not had one in years, but I remember liking it. And as I drink it here, it does not sit well on my palate.
So here's what I can tell you. Now that I've had like Belgian style ales and I've gotten more used to them, I'm drinking this and I'm far more impressed, if I'm being honest.
Oh.
I'm far more impressed than I was the first time I tried it. I feel like it's got a lot going on for sure, but there is, hold on.
The wife wants to try it.
Yeah, my wife's drinking my beer now. There's like that pepperiness with Belgian style that I kind of like. There's that weird hint of banana that's like,
It's always in all the European bananas, the vices, whatever it is.
There's
right?
that weird banana. So I kind of dig it, and I do feel like it is closer to. Now I remember like when Hardywood Single came out, and I was like, "What the fuck are they doing?" Now I can see kind of why they were
Sure.
in this ballpark. I find it better than I used to find it. There's something about like the Le Choff though, that's a little bit darker and like takes out some of that astringent aftertaste at the very end. There's that
very
like,
tart.
yeah, it's like this astringent kind of pucker at the back that I don't know how to describe better than an astringent pucker. You remember
It's like a really dry red wine or something at the very end where it kind of lingers. It definitely lingers on the back.
yeah, and for that,
yeah.
less so than the douchebaggery. I'm having to take it back. Will I say it's better than the average beer? Yes. But I can't go any higher than a 3 because I just don't think that that aftertaste kind of turns me off, but I do like the
Popping bottles back here.
Jeez.
I see that. That is fantastic. Yeah, so I'm going to give it a 3 because of the aftertaste, but I think obviously the front end with the pepper and the banana, all that, I like that enough to be over a 2.5 for sure.
Right.
So I'm going to go 3. Let's see if it can do better than that. And if I brought the douchebaggery in, it would be in 2. But it's a 3.
Who's next? Who wants to go next?
I mean, I'll go next. I love a Belgium style beer.
Okay, so good.
Yeah, so I want a beer that tastes like a beer. I don't want any fruit. I don't like an IPA. I don't like a sour. I want a stout. I want a Hefeweizen. I want a Belgian. So
You're going to love the next episode then.
So this is my jam.
Okay.
I really like this is a beer. This is I feel like it's original like recipe or something. But agree with you. There's something just on the back end that lingers that's just not right.
It's just
just not right.
that
It's
little
so
bit
good.
of hallucinogenic alcoholism.
Right. And what's funny is like it's so good on the front. Like you wait and it's on your palate and you want to sip more, and then all of a sudden you stop drinking it, and then it's not any good. And what's interesting, this can, if you guys look at the side of the can, it says you have to serve it at 41 to 45 degrees.
See what kind of douchebaggery.
I mean,
going
that's
through?
pretty douchebaggery.
Elected the number 1 beer
That's
in the
pretty
world.
cold too, right?
Right, that's
very
really,
cold.
really
Yeah,
cold.
yeah.
This
And
is
hard
not-
to
right.
maintain.
Yeah.
You're not going to put this in your back pocket and mow your grass, you know?
Right, yeah.
Like, just hold on to it. So I'm with you. Like, it's just a 3. I mean,
Wow, I expected you to come a lot higher.
I was going to go, I thought about it, but you know what? It to me, it's okay. I'm almost done. I'm almost done drinking this thing. So I've really, really enjoyed this, but I'm sure there's other beers out there that I would pound.
Mm-hmm. Duke?
I will say this beer is easy drinking, and for an 8.5, it's not boozy.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So
Yeah, that's a good point. No one pointed out.
I think
Forgot
that surprisingly, I don't want a boozy beer, so I wouldn't choose this beer. But I think it's middle of the road. I think 3 is a good number. I think it is a good beer, but I don't want an 8.5% beer that, you know.
Okay, so is that 3 threes?
3
Yeah.
threes. Well,
Come on.
I like everything that y'all have said. I agree with most everything you said, but
But,
on my
give me the big
palate,
but.
I'm gonna go 2.5. I just
Good.
The-
Finally, somebody hit this dude in the mouth.
the finish is so. The finish lingers so long, and it's worse than the good taste on the front end. So I have to dock it a half point. But it's a fine beer. But I definitely remember liking it more. But it's just the finish just not good.
The finish is all wrong.
But
Good.
to Matt's point, to Duke's point, it's not boozy. I forgot that it was 8.5, which is hard to do in an 8.5.
My face knows it's 8.5.
Yeah.
My body's warming as I'm about to finish this beer.
I
but
definitely feel stronger, more intelligent, probably a little more handsome than I was before I started it, which is the douchebaggery in it. You know? It's just-
Now for Stu, he's not here. What do y'all think about this can?
oh, let me give the Stu one. Good day, mates. I just got back from Australia, so I have a bit of an Australian accent because I'm a world traveler. I really like the way that the can looks. Reminds me of my time in Mexico. You may remember Mexico. It was right after I got back from Europe.
Yeah.
I think the can itself, I'm going to give it a 4 for the can.
It's baby blue and light pink. It's got weird colors, but they work well together. The elephant's iconic.
All right, so it's a 2.5, a 3, a 3, a 3.
Yeah. Not
Good.
a deli.
Not quite a deli. How? It's average.
Yeah. And I can tell you what it's not. It's not worth the $22 you paid for the 4-pack.
Brosif, I'm sorry you had to see that.
Yeah.
Wait, it was $22 for
Okay,
4 beers.
hold on. No one. had
Wait,
to-
wait. We have to talk about because that can change.
So I
the
hate
way,
this guy.
right? So
Yeah.
you talk about douchebaggery.
Yeah. I take
Come
that-
on, $22 for a
Keep
6.
in mind, I bought it at a local gas station. You know those gas
pay the
stations
premium at the-
that have
Okay.
way too much craft beers in them.
Sure.
These exist in every town in America. There is that gas station that has a little
Holy
convenience
shit.
mart, and it's full of the best beers in the world. And the reason they can have all the best beers in the world is because they don't care how long it sits on the shelf. 'Cause
They're
They're
gonna-
going to charge you
yeah.
$4 more than it should cost. But even if I take the $4 off,
Even if it's
it's an $18 six pack.
Well, the good thing is they didn't repackage it like they do everything else.
Yeah, they are known to cut a case in half and
Isn't that
clear
the
package
best?
tape it.
Beautiful, right?
You get that packaging
For
tape.
our young
12-pack.
listeners, if you ever want to know where you can go and not need an ID, or if you have a really wonky fake ID, those types of
Yeah.
places will allow you to
Yeah.
purchase your alcohol.
If you walk in and you
Total Wine, $22.50 for a 4-pack.
Wow.
Okay,
So the
so
markup's
see-
not bad.
50-cent markup.
Actually, that's the most gentle markup
Yeah.
in that whole place.
Yeah.
Total Wine also gives it a 92.
No
because
They can be
douchebags
wrong.
respect douchebags.
Yeah.
Anyone who's selling a 4-pack for $22, come on.
That's just dumb.
Ray, I appreciate your fucking comments.
I mean, that's
It's
just
dumb, but
silly.
you go to a
That's
bar and
silly.
you pay-
I mean, it's only 16 ounces.
You pay $4.50 for a Coors Light, so that's stupid too.
This is
So-
the Pappy Van Winkle of beers.
Yeah. This is.
It's a 6-pack.
I want to change. I'm back to a 2.5. I think I'd take a half point off because of the price.
You see?
that fucking
Yeah.
sucks.
I'm glad to see that. See, I did a really good job of holding it all in, all that visceral hate.
I want all the data.
But Ray, you're almost done with that beer, so it's very
That is true.
It's very crushable.
It is.
Objection! Hearsay!
I can't have that. He said the C word.
Yeah.
Still,
I'll take that
I wouldn't be
into
crushing if it was $22. If I had paid $22,
Yeah.
I would be like sipping this bitch.
Well,
Well,
that's how much
I
I
crush it when Brendan's buying it, so no
that's
problem.
true. Right.
Well, it hurts more. When you think a shot of Malort in there would actually clean it up? Oh shit, Ray! Can we take a step back? I challenged you.
Oh, yeah,
and
we-
Taylor. So
we
if
have a-
anybody doesn't remember, Ray and Taylor represent the Squeezing Lemons podcast. You can find it on Spotify. Have we cleared
We
the
are
hurdle?
cleared. We are waiting for. We got word from Apple that they said Things look good. We just now got to wait.
Okay, so you are any minute now.
Any minute
We're
now.
going to be across other devices. But so if you do have Spotify, you can check it out right after your Joe Rogan episode. If 4 hours of podcast wasn't enough, there's another hour and 20 minutes coming your way. And it's the Squeezing Lemons podcast, and we're a big fan. Oh, Squeezing. I need to actually be very careful with that. So the Squeezing Lemons podcast, Ray and Taylor, and we actually asked them, or we challenged them to make drinks with Malort, because every week they take either a mixer or they take a liquor, and they really kind of dive into the drinks that you can make easily at home and really help you understand how to do so. So we challenged them to do something with Malort. I would love an update on how things are going with your attempt to make Malort.
I can almost guarantee they have not perfected the craft with that yet.
No.
There is no.
We have 2 cocktails. We have actually
Really?
we have one cocktail that we think that we're going to submit to Jepson, actually.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, because they
we-
do request.
So are there
them.
minimums, like you have to use one shot at least? Like, because anyone can make a good drink and splash
Absolutely.
Malort in it and be like, okay, that's tolerable.
We weren't gonna puss out on this.
cheat it,
We
yeah.
weren't gonna puss out. So we said we had to have a cocktail that had 1 ounce of the Malort in it minimum. So
Yeah.
we were able to manipulate it to 1.5 ounces. And we do have a cocktail that we think we're gonna submit.
Nice.
However, Taylor and I are not fans of one of the ingredients that's in it. Not the Malort. I mean, that sucks
Yeah.
The
anyway.
Jepson.
Right. It's grapefruit. So
But that was what I said you should put in it. So
right,
you're actually
you
going to pull
did.
the
We're
grapefruit
gonna pull
out.
No, the grapefruit actually adds to it.
so you need palates that don't mind grapefruit.
correct.
Because you're
Correct. Because it just all blends together, and we have to figure out a way to keep it really cold. We found that if you let
This
that,
is like a mRNA vaccine.
oh man, when you let that cocktail sit, and like whatever it is, whatever happens to
whatever
it,
science starts going on in it.
it gets worse and worse and worse. So like the first 2-3 sips, it's great, but then after it gets warm, it fucking blows. So
Have you heard of ice?
we tried to put it over ice, but it doesn't work. It waters down and it messes it all up. So it's got to be served up.
Malort is the
kills
only
ice.
drink. Yeah. How great is this? Malort's the only drink that's like, oh no, it gets worse when it waters down.
Oh, it gets worse when it waters down. So
It's kind of like when you take a shot, it gets worse after it goes down your
exactly.
palate.
oh man, it is.
Yeah.
We've tried a lot of different drinks, and Taylor and I had to get an Uber home because we tried so many. It was bad.
Have you tried cutting it with fentanyl?
That's the next step.
So we think that we've got 1 or 2 cocktails that we're gonna have with Malort. We're gonna do an episode. We're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna go from there.
So
Gin, we think we also think adding another kind of spirit
Liquor.
with it,
Yeah, for sure.
is going to help out.
oh yeah,
too.
because why get boners?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're going to make a cocktail with Malort, you just might as well just go all in.
Well, if you use another, what do they say? What's the adjective? Botanical, like a gin, like it probably plays off of it,
It
pretty
does.
well.
So what are you going to call it? You come up with a name? Because I think
Shit.
it's.
We're
I
going
think
to call
it's-
it. You ready?
Yeah,
we already know.
I quit is my guess.
No, we're going to call it the Pallet House.
Nice.
Yes,
That's an honor.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, because and we will get to name it if it's a cocktail. We will. There are requirements or whatever. I don't know what it is, but we will get to name it, and it'll go in whatever. And we're going to call it the Pallet House.
Yeah, because
That is huge. I appreciate that.
So-
that is huge.
for those that don't know, I'm pretty sure Jepson's Malort, like they're always looking for input because
Always looking. Yeah.
Dude, they do. They literally
They have
every
big-
year they
yeah.
host the best bartenders in Chicago to come in, and they do this big challenge. And whatever drink wins, they prop that bartender up. Like, look what you
Sure.
were able to do. Like,
Yeah.
And
you
when-
made poop.
you
taste
are the
good.
best of the best.
When we started doing this, there's a guy that uses a half ounce of Malort and like grapefruit Radler beer, and he puts it and mixes it, and they were like, "This is the greatest drink ever." We're like,
But
"Fuck
that's
off."
a cheat.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
that we can
half
do it.
ounce isn't enough.
Yeah, that's not half ounce is not enough. You got to do an ounce or ounce and a half. We think an ounce and a half of gin with some other stuff in it.
Yeah.
So this is like the Long Island iced tea of Malort drink.
Yeah.
And we actually built it on the Long Island iced tea,
Yeah.
like 3/4. But we just wanted to tweak it, so we'd do like ounce and a half ounce of something else, and then move it from there.
This is beautiful.
Oh, It's called the Pallet House.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
I like where this is going. I knew if anyone could dial it in, it would
Yep.
be these guys, because you guys have a way with mixers and simple syrups and
Yep.
liquors. I mean, you guys understand whatever it is. I'm a drinker more so than like an artist. Y'all are damn near artists.
Well, Taylor is anal, like super, super like anal. And so when he got this challenge, he went balls deep into this thing. And I tried them all, and we tweaked it and did everything else. But you did a good job of like getting Taylor to do that.
Good. See, I fired him up.
Yeah.
So can I give you guys an idea?
Yeah.
Opening day, Cubs podcast their drink in the streets of Chicago.
Oh, is that April what?
It's going to be in April, and so when he says opening day, I know what he means, and that's Cubs home opener.
Yes.
Cubs home opener.
Cubs
And so every year I like to host a little Cubs home opener.
Are you telling us we need to travel to Chicago to do this?
absolutely is what I'm telling you. If
Okay.
that drink is on point,
I understand, and that's a really big ask. It's a really big ask for the Cubs home opener. But I can tell you this. I can get live feeds of all of the different corners in Wrigleyville and put them on the TVs.
We'll
and stuff.
feel like we're there.
Yes.
that'll work too.
We can have something by April. We can have something this month.
And if you
Or
wait
March.
2 weeks, you can easily get into a Cubs game. But the first day
everyone thinks they're going to be
they're
good.
still going to win.
Well, I'm not saying be in there. I'm saying be outside there.
Yeah.
Start serving it up to the Chicago.
That would be who you need to get approval. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a good drink until those.
Well, let me bring this. Let's have Taylor and I back. We'll do it like a cocktail. We'll do a squeezing lemons inside the Pallet House. We'll introduce it. We'll have a couple people here, and we'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it up with the Malort cocktail.
But you could start it here on Cubs opening day.
On Cubs opening, and that way we can
and then
actually
you can
promote
do
the
And then you
Chicago,
could say-
Chicago dogs.
I will clearly do Chicago dogs unless, of course, the drink is so good that I can't, be around fire. But otherwise, yeah, I'd love to grill. Just Malort and decisions, they don't always go hand in hand.
No. Not good.
In fact, Malort's slogan is
Oh no! Someone peed in my pants!
that actually, they actually have shirts that say, like, who peed in my pants?
Yeah.
Malort understands what they are. I'm really excited to hear that you made progress.
I love that
did.
they've just leaned into what they are. It's
Malort?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Because most people wouldn't. They still try to sell you that it's some.
But you can't. It's that bad. Like, nobody.
It's right. That's the thing is that
Yeah, but there's other drinks that are bad that people still.
I know,
like,
but if like 25% of the population thinks you're good, you at least have a base that you can play against and like try. Malort, literally nobody thinks it's good. So they were like, we're kind of in a weird spot.
I bet most of your jerk off family from Chicago would tell you it's delicious. I bet most people from Chicago would tell you it's awesome.
In
So
the
this
same
is-
way, I will tell you it's awesome, but I know it's not.
All right, so Brendan, I want you to read the description. This is an Australian website. It's where we get most of our cocktails from and some ideas.
Okay, so this is the
Difford's
Difford's
Guides.
and this is
About the Malort. I want you to read it.
now when I look for the description, a
Just-
lot of this just talks about early on. But are you talking about this area here?
Yeah.
Okay. I will go ahead and get it. It doesn't appear funny. I don't know why we're doing this, but
Oh, no.
So this is like the whole. Wait, do you want me to go down to the review?
No, let me tell you it should say something about like if you bought a shot for yourself, you're like a
Oh no. Okay. Jepson Malort enjoys something of a cult following in the Chicago area, where it is considered so disgusting that a shot of Jägermeister or Fernet Branca is for wimps. By all accounts, buying a shot for yourself is considered self-harm, while buying a round is akin to sadism. As I type this, I can see the cult growing as people are inquisitively stupid enough to want to try something that others purport to being disgusting. There's naught so queer as folk, which for American readers translates as people sometimes behave in a very strange way. Please don't be stupid enough to fall for marketing ruse, as basic as it is, as it's so disgusting you won't want to drink it. The sad thing is, it's not actually that bad. I've tasted far worse. Okay, look at that. That was a big
I have
win.
not tasted far worse.
no, it.
I like when they gave their taste. It said bittersweet with aggressive wormwood rooty bitterness.
Back.
Sweet genepi and vanilla. Hey, look, this is the nicest aftertaste. Nubuck leather, tobacco leaf, wormwood, genepi. I got to know what genepi is. Long, lingering, rooty bitterness. That is the fucking most understated comment I've ever seen. Long lasting. How about tomorrow it'll still hurt? Like, that's crazy. Hey, Ray, someone's at your front door. I'm getting a lot of stuff going on over here.
I thought that was a pretty good review from
That's actually the nicest review I've ever seen. It's
For sure.
It's in the comments that I would probably find the
truth.
the winners. There was actually a Reddit thread going on the other day, and they were like, "What's something that smells okay but tastes far worse?" And people were going down all these like roads of beef bourguignon, all this like crazy stuff, and I was like, Malort.
Yeah.
Like, it smells like grapefruit, tastes like every bad decision you've ever made. And all of a sudden, like, people start piling on. I was like, yep, because that's the thing that smells better than it tastes, for sure. Malort's like a fart that ekes out of a corpse after it's been dead for 4 days.
We went
That's
through.
Malort.
We almost we've almost finished your bottle.
Do you need another bottle?
No, we're good. We have 2.
I have a bottle of Malort here in the room that'll make Malort taste like fucking Moet Chandon.
Come on.
I'm serious.
Is that the pale ale one?
Yes.
Yeah, the hoppy one.
So they took one of the most popular IPAs, and these IPAs they'll sometimes age in a barrel, and they do the barrel aged IPA. Well, then they took that barrel that it's got all that hop profile in it, and they poured Malort in there and they aged it.
Ugh.
It took this turd and somehow managed to cram the turd back into the dog and let it run back around and shit it back out. Phenomenal.
That sounds really bad.
And I was implying that the original turd was from a dog. No. I'm talking a turd from another mammal shoved up into a dog. It's a very unique flavor profile. And if you ever want to try it, I would be down to do so.
How many of the listeners do you think have not had Malort?
80%.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of them. I feel like once you kind of turned me onto it, Brendan, a few years ago, I feel like Malort's had a resurgence. Like, it's kind of a common knowledge thing amongst drinkers now.
At least, oh, you mean in general, not just amongst our group.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think Malort is experiencing the equivalent of a heyday.
Right. I will say that we've talked about it, and we're finding that people know about it but have never tried it. They're like, oh,
Well, you can't get it here, right?
No, you cannot. No.
So I would say
you've had it, Duke, right?
Oh,
Yes, I've had Malort, and it's
Several times.
at least 2 times,
Okay.
and it's
He just picked a number that was going to be less offensive than the one he's had.
no, I've had it twice.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him do it more than twice.
Yeah, and it goes down and just gets worse.
It does go down and get worse.
I mean, it's an interesting.
I would challenge you to try the hop.
I feel like Virginia is really leaving a lot of money on the table because with their little, as you say, their heyday going on right now, I feel like if you stocked it, people would buy it. Like,
It's a weird situation. It really is. Like, people.
The problem is
kinda
you
like
buy
it.
one bottle and that's it.
I mean, it's
Not me.
It's,
I buy 6 at a time.
it's like the perfect frat booze for
Yeah.
hazing and if we can do that anymore.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
back in the day.
Back in the day, you had haze.
Oh,
sorry.
shut the front door.
Yeah.
Hazing occurs everywhere. I'm over here slowly working towards hazing right now, just bringing up the hopped Malort.
I know. I noticed that. I was just going to ignore it.
Yeah. He's kind of slowly bringing it in.
That's fine. You can ignore it.
I'll fucking do it.
Right now?
We
Goddamn right.
we like as guys.
wow.
As guys, we like Malort. I mean, we like hazing. I think that's something guys tend to like.
Hey, Troy,
on
can
some
you
level.
just pad for a moment? I'm
Yeah.
going to go, or just have a conversation about what the Duke's about to enter into.
Well, I want to talk about hypotheticals because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. But what are our thoughts on hazing? Because I don't want to get anyone in trouble for saying they have been or haven't been. But I feel like as dudes, it all happens at some point in some organization.
I don't think that bottle's been opened.
And I feel like I feel
just
like
a little screw
when you're
cap.
doing it, you don't like being hazed, but you look back on it, kind of fondly. Like it does kind of bring you together. And I mean, and I tend to go back to the military that seems to have it figured the fuck out. Like,
Proper hazing.
yeah.
Correct.
I think that hazing in general is a team building exercise that can be very beneficial if you don't cross a
Yeah.
line of stupidity.
Yeah.
No, and okay, that's actually a pretty good
That's
way
a
to
great-
put it.
that's a
'cause
great way to put it.
Totally agree. Like everybody says, like when you pledge a fraternity or you go through boot camp, like you look back and go, actually, those are some of the best days of my life. You never think of that while you're in it.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's a miserable experience, but it's a shared miserable experience, and that is what creates a unity that you cannot have anywhere else.
Yeah.
So yes.
So there's a place for it. It
Yeah.
just has to be done right.
Well, and it can go overboard to your point. Like,
Yeah, I think it's you can't go to that stupidity level.
Yeah.
But you can
Don't
absolutely
pour me
go.
any of that. I will not be having any.
I'm trying to create very small shots here.
I'm looking forward to this.
You want to take a nose full of it first, see what you think?
Man, that
Let me
smells
smell
awful.
it. I'm not drinking it, but let me smell it.
Now I went.
Oh, yeah.
I went very light with those shots of Malort because my friends, this here, and I will take one because I will not leave everybody hanging.
Man, that is.
This is called
It's called the anti-hero.
yeah. This is the worst shot of Malort you'll ever take. Now this is going to taste like Malort, yet somehow worse. You thought it couldn't get worse, but here we are. Troy, I want you to describe the faces that
All
you see
right.
around the room. Here we go.
Cheers. 1,
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
2, 3. To the face. Let's see how this goes. I'm looking around. Oh, yep. We're making noises. We're coughing off mic. The Duke is handling it the best. Ray and Brendan look like
Actually,
they have.
this time,
Oh,
they
that's
look,
terrible.
They look to be in a bad way.
No, hold on. There is a new note.
Oh, a new note.
No, and I mean this positively.
I don't know what the aftertaste
that vanilla?
is.
What is that? Why is it like?
Yeah, it's lingering.
Is it getting worse like standard
Yeah, it's
Malort?
when you as you're like
exhale?
letting it happen.
Yeah, but is that vanilla?
There's no
it-
vanilla. There's no vanilla
I
in
wish
that.
there was vanilla in there.
Oh fuck. All right, so that's not good. My mouth's watering like I'm gonna
I
vomit.
can hear it. Yeah, I
but
can hear it.
At the same time, my body doesn't want to vomit, which is weird because that's the beauty of Malort. It's
Right,
just-
so it doesn't make you like sick to your stomach, but it is definitely bad on your tongue.
Your palate does not like it.
Let's talk about the advertisement on that bottle, though.
oh, it's the anti-hero. It's literally
What
a
is
dude.
the guy wearing?
He's wearing like a Dickie. Oh, hold on, I
That's
can't talk.
isn't that the Chicago flag or something on that?
I don't know what that is.
No, that's the Malort logo,
Oh,
but it's got like
Looks
a-
like some airborne military
and the dude's
logo.
the dude's head is literally a hop
Yeah.
smoking a cigarette.
Maybe that's the hint of cigarette.
well, I think you need cigarette after
Yeah.
you take that. That's like your chaser. It's
Yeah,
a
a
puff of a
cigarette.
cigarette.
Preferably a menthol.
My wife just looked at me with the second most disgusted look she's ever given me as I held up the hot Malort.
I know what the first one is.
So she wants
Yeah.
one.
No, wedding day.
It's kind of like your penis when she looks at it. She's like,
No, that's yikes. Yikes is closer. It's massive.
Fucking Delirium's already got us.
Yeah.
I told you it would. Wait till the second episode. It's gonna be a fucking night. Dude, my breath smells like fucking shit sticks. That Malort is horrible.
can I just say that Ray's making these cool looking drinks over here in the corner?
Yeah, he's
That's
making,
what he does.
I kind of want one of these, and he hadn't offered one, but
he's making a ranch water.
Yeah.
That's what he made me on the
and he has a Topo Chico, which is the
Yeah.
greatest seltzer, whatever that's out there.
yeah.
me taste
Topo
it. I haven't
Chico.
tasted it.
Is that a lemon lime one?
It is.
Yeah.
And so I put sour cherry grenadine in it.
And what's the clear liquid?
Tequila.
So you made it alcoholic.
You want to
Nice.
hand me a couple
Hey,
cups?
Do you have a tequila of choice when you're mixing?
A clear, I would assume.
But you don't always have to go clear. But like, so
No, peanut gallery chirping in. Yeah, you do.
So have you guys heard of like with the tequila that I guess it's the agave plant? Is that correct? I'm not sure, but
that's what they make it with.
With the climate change,
The shortage, right?
well, yeah, I guess apparently it takes like I think
Hey, Ray, is this
6
already been
years
mixed?
or something.
I'm going to hand
to,
one this way.
Oh yeah.
I think it's
I'm not drinking it.
6 or so years, but with climate change, it doesn't need a lot of water. But apparently in Mexico, it's from a certain area,
Yeah.
and
You good?
they're worried that they can't produce enough of it.
And it's
soon.
hot right now. Like,
Yeah,
it's
they're
super
worrying
popular.
like as it goes, they're not going to be able to produce enough
Produced enough what? I wasn't paying attention.
agave.
Agave.
agave to make tequila at some point.
Hold on, bullshit.
No.
This is a desert plant. If anything was built for global warming, it's fucking agave. Can't we just move it north?
Well, that's what it would do is you would come into the States with it.
You're
and
damn
start-
right. Because what's
then-
better than American tequila?
That's right. That's what we're known for.
That's what I'm talking
SA.
about. Yeah. At the border, we're going to be like, agave, you're cool.
Yeah.
Come on in. Come on in, agave.
Yeah.
You get to hang.
So tequila of choice, Diablo is really good, but I don't use any of the name brand. I don't use any like
So what's that George Clooney crap?
Casamigos.
So I just tried the Casamigos the other day, and I fell in love. I thought it was phenomenal.
No, so you don't want to use any of that. Technically, tequila, if you drink tequila with non-additives, will not give you a hangover.
Yes,
So
but
Casamigos has additives, so it hurts you.
you know what doesn't? Humidor.
Humidor.
El
So
Jimador.
low rent tequila,
Yeah.
100% agave, no bullshit, and it's the number one drank tequila in Mexico because Humidor is the most. It's pure, but it's like low rent pure.
Right.
But it's got all the flavors you want.
That's what you need.
That's what you use to make your spicy
It's
tequila.
all I use because it's the only 100% agave, like cheap
Yeah.
tequila. Because
And-
everything
and
else
with
is
tequila,
adulterated.
right. With tequila, it's
Good.
just cheap. I mean, it's like it's cheap, it's easy, it's fun.
Yo.
I mean, that's a great ranch water.
That's the best ranch water I've ever tasted.
It's so good. Like I just had that. Man, I love when Ray mixes drinks. I love that when he's not mixing drinks, he's still just out of his back pocket. He's like, "Ooh, I'm just gonna make some ranch
I
water."
just got this.
Well,
And
I mean, like I put some like sour cherry, like grenadine, and a little tequila. Put a lime in there, and that was it.
I love. See, you know what I like about him? He's the opposite of the douchebags from
Right.
Delirium Treatments.
If I
He's
had a
like,
hat,
I just did
I'd
a
give it to
little,
you.
and I wish a motherfucker would.
Right? If I had a hat, I'd give it to you.
Yeah, I would. and actually, it's literally the least you could do because you would look stupid as shit in that hat.
That is true.
I would look okay. I'm not saying great, but okay. But after that Delirium Treatments, I got just enough douchebag in me now where I feel like I'd look pretty good. Just saying.
That is pretty good.
Yeah,
That's the first time I'm trying it.
It's excellent.
actually.
You
the first
never,
time-
you never made that?
I never made that.
you don't drink your drinks.
No, I mean, I was like, I think this will work. I'll just do it on the fly. That's the first time.
He's mixing stuff so long and so
He's
often
like a
now. He
chef.
just knows, like,
Yeah.
a dash of this, a dash of that.
Exactly.
That's why I'm an awful cook. Like, I don't know, like, when people are like, oh, it needs more paprika. I'm like, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Well, I listened to Ray on that podcast, and it was interesting because I made an old fashioned the other night, and I wet the glass down, and it definitely took on more smoke because that's what he had said.
That's why I was asking Ray and Taylor because I was like,
and it was very good information because, like, at
Yeah, if
times
you-
I couldn't taste.
well, this
the
is
smoke.
inside the science house.
First world problems.
So actually, my wife and I went out the other night, and we were at a place, and they brought out like the butane torch, and they just put a cedar plank in front of me.
Yeah.
And they literally just hit the cedar plank with the butane torch, and then they just threw the glass on top of it, and I'll be damned.
Hopefully upside down.
It was upside down.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But then, the flame went out, and it just smoked the glass, and I was like, yep, even at the last sip, I still
was
had...
it wet?
They didn't wet it. They actually just put it in, which glass is a liquid, so I guess it technically works.
If it's cold,
Science.
if it was chilled, if the glass was chilled, it'll actually take the smoke better.
So it'll condensate a little bit.
Yeah, that's all you need.
I see. We're learning. We're learning. But
Yeah,
I was blown away by that. Like it, and it did it. The very last sip, it's still like I actually turned to my wife and I was like, "Smell that," And she was like, yeah, it's smoky. I was like, that is the last sip.
Yeah, and so
impressive.
I've kind of experimented with taking a regular glass and then spritzing it with absinthe, and then putting the smoke with the absinthe and doing
shit.
a Sazerac like that, a smoked Sazerac,
So you
which
get
is
the anise and the smoke.
yeah, that's really good.
That's a good looking man.
Usually doesn't go well when you turn to your wife and say, "Here, smell that."
Yeah. It comes down to how obvious the hand cup was. Right? You know? And anybody who knows what a hand cup is knows what the hell I'm talking about. For those that don't know, it's a very simple move. You just open your hand, you place it behind your butthole. When you fart, you grab it, and then you just catch it like a ball.
It's a fruit cup.
And then you go and you open it up. To allow the bouquet to be
The
removed.
botanicals.
And man, it works like a charm. It's amazing. I didn't realize you could catch and move farts until I was in college. And someone taught me, oh, no, this is a gas and you can catch it for a moment.
Just for a moment. Just for a moment.
Move it over here
Science.
and release. And I was like, that's better than a fan.
Inside the science house.
That's right.
That's right. So let that be the final note.
Yeah.
Before we head to the next
The
episode.
final note.
Because I
The
got
brown note.
Yeah, the brown note. No, thank you all so much for tuning in this week. We certainly do appreciate it. Duke, Ray, thank you guys for coming out.
If you want, come back next week.
Yeah, if you guys have the guts, come back next week. Let's see if they can do it.
We'll see.
Got a funny feeling they can. Got a funny feeling they can. If you haven't had a chance to head over to our Facebook page, you can always do so. It's Inside the Pouthouse Podcast, or you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at ITPH Podcast. If you've got far too much money in your pocket, well, then you should just send it in Venmo.
Yeah, at Inside the Pouthouse Venmo.
That's the place. And the number one thing you could do to help us out right now is the old Cincinnati swap. You grab your buddy's phone, sign them up for Inside the Pallet House. Then the next time they open their app, they think, what's this? And then they listen to it, and now you guys have something to talk about instead of those awkward silences that you guys have been spending over the Tombstone Pizza. It's awkward. Tighten up. If you need a mortgage, head on over to Screen Door Mortgage. Reach out to them. Jimmy will reach out to you, and he'll make you what is a very difficult situation not so difficult. He's the best. And if you need sunglasses, get over to Nectar Sunglasses. Drop Abacus in the coupon code. They will give you 20% off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
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 That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
I think it was sufficient, Troy.
That was really good.
The least you could possibly do.